Hello and welcome to Noggin Comics. It has been some time since Nora has been on.
Hello.
For those who haven't watched us in some time, she's Nora. I'm Kyle, and we are Noggin Comics. We've been gone for what, maybe 3 months, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been going through some hurdles that are, still kind of going up and down. But and then I started a new job. I'm about a month in now, so it's been a little crazy. But we are getting back into the swing of all things Noggin.
Yeah, so this is our first video back. And to celebrate, we want to go through the independents that we've really enjoyed, the independent books that we've really enjoyed the last couple months, I would say.
Yeah, we're catching up.
We've been catching up. I think we got like 5 months worth of comics I just recently caught up on. But if you haven't seen, we've been doing a weekly podcast with some Minnesota Comic Exchange, Comics and Cleats, that talk about fantasy football and comics. And this Thursday, we are a special guest, or a special guest judge on Pitch Battle on the Chimera Show. But now that that's out of the way, let's dive into our independent spotlights.
Yes. So we have 3 books that we're going to talk about that are all different indie publishers. So let's get into it. So this first one came out this past Wednesday, or whatever date that was.
When you're watching this, it came out on October
11th. Because Friday was 13th.
Yeah.
So this one was suggested to us to get because of the premise alone. Operation Sunshine from Dark Horse Comics.
Shout out to Jason at Issues Needed, who made a comment about what we do in the shadows for that.
Yeah, he was like, hey, this is kind of like what we do in the shadows. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? So this is by Henry Zebrowski and Marcus Parks, who we found out are the people who do the last pothouse. Wow, I can't speak.
The last podcast on the left.
Yeah, and I know that it's really popular. We haven't listened to it, but and then you have the art by David Rubin, who has done a book called Ether, did some Black Hammer work, and then did Cosmic Detective, which is by Jeff Lemire as well.
Jeff Lemire, Matt Kent. Yeah.
So that's a book I need to get my hands on.
Well, and Zebrowski and Park also did Soul Plumber for DC.
Yeah, they did.
2 years ago, I think it was.
The horror title. Yes. So, we both really enjoyed this. It's kind of, like Kyle said, it's kind of as close as what you can get from an episode of What We Do in the Shadows, almost.
Yeah, well, previously coming on, we decided to do some research because honestly, sometimes I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's missing in videos. And, rereading this and going through it, you made the comment, this feels like a pilot episode of a TV show. And I couldn't get that out of my head because it seriously does. There is so much that goes on in this first issue that sets up what's going to be happening throughout the series.
Yeah.
And it's not an overabundance. It's one of those things where it's a good amount of information that you receive, and you also have questions that make you want to continue reading.
Mm-hmm.
Like, last night was the first time that Nora ever watched The Lost Boys. And now I bet you she would have read this again. Because it parodies the tropes from movies like The Lost Boys, Interviews with a Vampire, and, what we do in the shadows. So.
Yeah.
And the premise is basically you have bugs, which bugs are vampires who don't have all the power.
Yeah, like they haven't fully formed.
It's not like it's like because one of the main characters she's a kid that's been a vampire for hundreds of years.
Yeah, like 300 years.
And she's a bug. And she refers to like the main vampires as original vampires, OVs.
Yeah.
And then that just kind of sets up where we're going with this whole story.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to spoil the ending because the ending sets up where this can be going. So if you go to your local comic shop or if you read it online, find this, pick it up, especially if you like vampires. This is that time of year for that.
Yeah, I mean, this is just like a kind of funny, like, this is what I was pointed out to in the store. It's like, he's trying to work and,
Shade.
not have his shade. It's really funny. Yeah, it's fun. So I'm excited. We're excited to see where it goes.
Yep. So yeah, that's Operation Sunshine by Dark Horse. Great. So it's a fun read for October.
Yeah, these are all kind of those.
I wouldn't say they're all. They're dark, but not horror.
Yeah.
That's probably the closest you get to actual vampires and stuff like that.
There's some undertones.
Yeah. The next book is actually. It's got a funny story to it. While we were away, we went to Uncanny Experience, the X-Men immersive event that happened at the Minneapolis Club. And while there, Bob Quinn, the artist who worked on Knights of X, was there. And I just read this book, and I didn't put two and two together until I seen he had a variant cover of this book sitting at his table. Next thing I know, I'm like, wait a minute. Are you the artist behind Kill Your Darlings?
And this was like a week or two after the comic came out. Yeah.
So, this is from Image Comics, and it is Kill Your Darlings #1.
Yeah. And we got our signed by Bob. By Bob Quinn.
Yep. And then this
yeah, and we got
cover.
this awesome shiny cover that he also signed.
He signed on the inside.
Yeah.
Because he was like, you don't want to sign this cover.
Right there.
But yeah, this is by Ethan Parker and Griffin Sheridan, who are the Simple Boys who did Stigma and His Amazing Friends, and now Ideas Don't Bleed with Nancy Rosenberg. So that's two comics. Two of the three comics that we're talking about today are written by podcasters.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. Bob Quinn, like I said, he worked on Knights of X, but he also worked on Alligator Loki.
Yeah.
So,
which was an Infinity comic.
It's an Infinity comic. It just recently got, yeah. And his artwork is kind of the way, what's the best way to describe it? Not childlike, but more of bubbly appearance, kind of. And this is a dark story. And I think that is key to why this works. Basically, the premise of the story is, what if your imagination was deadly?
I mean, yeah, look at the cover of this alone.
And in a way, it kind of reminded me of something epic, where it really focuses on you to think about imagination. This is a lot less dense.
Yeah, this is really quick.
It's a very quick read.
Yeah.
It's mostly Bob Quinn's artwork that pushes the narrative forward.
Yeah.
There was times my mouth dropped because I didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah, and the ending is like, wait, okay, I need the next issue right now.
And the next issue, luck enough, is coming out this Wednesday, October 18th. So, like I said, this Operation Sunshine. Operation Sunshine. Go to your LCS or go online. Find Kill Your Darlings. Give it a chance, because I think that this team has a chance of actually producing something that's very well done. I look forward to reading it, monthly, but also I want to read this collected.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's an ongoing. We didn't do our research before, or if it's a mini series, but I think this is going. It could be a mini, but I mean, look at some of this Killing the Children. That kind of had that mini series feel to it. That's now 30-some
now
issues in.
Yeah. Talking about collected though. You and I have a different feeling for this next book we're going to talk about. The final book we're talking about.
Not in a bad way.
You love this title. I thought it was good. But you are a massive fan of the writer, so I want you to take this over and end us on a high note.
Yeah, great. Okay, so the next book is by the one and only Ram V and artist Filipe Andrade from Boom Studios, the same team that did one of the best books, I think, from 2021, The Many Deaths of Lila Starr, which is such a good series. So this book, I said to Kyle, like, before he read it, I read it before him, and I'm like, this is a really layered book, but you really gotta read it, because it's so good. So this whole issue is a conversation, that starts with the main character kind of talking to this person, that then kind of keeps evolving. But in the background, these people are trying to investigate this crime. And the main character is setting out to be kind of the next Anthony Bourdain, because he was really upset about his passing, and he's trying to find this person to film his documentary, for his, this whole food documentary. He's traveling the world, wants to document that. So yeah, it does a great job of taking you through his conversation, and it also goes into explaining this chai drink that then evolves into so much more. I don't want to say a lot because I know I'll spoil it, but I think this first issue alone is a really good, almost like a vignette issue of something that you can really visualize. And the way it ends is like, wait, what? It's something like something's off.
The way that it ends is this the first issue that shows you the ending of what the book's mostly going to be.
Yeah, and it's like, wait, what? And something's weird. Like, the cover alone is like, is this guy, like, what is he drinking? Is he good? Is he bad? So, yeah, it's really good. I think the second issue comes out in a few weeks. And you said that you would rather...
I would much rather, so, when it comes to Ranvi, I think he's one of the best writers around right now. But much like Tom King, I much rather read his stuff collected.
Yeah, I agree and I disagree, because I think, like, just reading the single issue and waiting for more just helps and adds to the anticipation of the story.
True. But yeah, that was our 3 independent spotlights this month of October. Maybe it's something we can do monthly. Like I said, we're planning to do more content. We are really involved now with the Minnesota Comic Exchange. So watch out for make sure you keep an eye out on the Comics and Cleats podcast. We've been known to do giveaways on this live stream. We gave away a Tom Quinn Red Sonja cover, which was I think a 1 in 500 that we gave away. So either find the Minnesota Comic Exchange on Facebook, or keep an eye on Noggin Comics YouTube channel where we're doing the live stream and we're doing interviews with members of the Minnesota Comic Exchange. But let us know, have you checked out Operation Sunshine, Kill Your Darlings, or Rare Flavours? You got anything to add? Anything that you want to plug before heading out?
I don't think so, but read more indie books.
But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the YouTube stuff we usually do. Also, thank you for not leaving us. Like I said, we've been gone for a while. But
we're never really gone.
Well, like we've been doing that podcast for 6 weeks now. That's been something that we've been adding, but man, live streaming's hard. I gotta admit. Yeah. But yeah, remember, we have that on every Thursday, and then this Thursday, the 19th, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The 19th, we'll be on the Chimero show doing a pitch battle between Fable and our friend Dennis Vogan. But until then, see you at the comic shop and have a good night.